go ahead. Were you all, are they out of the school?
One of them is. I'm still waiting on the other one to come out.
So I'm live, by the way, on both cameras. What have you been able to find out about this situation?
I haven't been able to find out a whole lot, except for there has been a shooting, and I think a student or teacher or something been shot. I'm not sure. I'm just getting bits and pieces, so I just got here, so I'm trying to find out exactly what's going on.
Okay. And at what point did you get the phone call, or how did you find out again?
My son called me and told me there had been a shooting in the school, and I just left work and came directly here. So one of my children is still in the school, so I'm waiting to see what's going on.
Okay. And how are you? You told me how. I'm sorry. Information coming in my ear.
Yeah.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm not feeling good until I get my other child. And praying for those that have been shot or injured during this incident.
Okay. And again, just tell us what grade.
I have one son in the 11th grade and one in the 9th grade, and the one that's in the 9th grade is still in the school at this time.
Okay. And I'm sure there are a lot of police officers here, so
yeah.
We're praying that, you know, the student is safe. The two that were shot have been transported, from what I've been told and what I'm listening. I can hear in my ear, the local hospital, so hopefully, you know, you'll see your child and relative soon.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
I know what happened.
And if you're watching at the station, I know I got a text message. I have two devices in my ear, in my hand. If you all can just comment and let me know what you need. All right, folks. Sorry about the phone issue. The reception over here is still coming out. Very terrible. They're calm, walking out. They're not running. It's very spotty. So we're still working with trying to talk to parents, teachers, how many shooters, anyone that we really can speak to
I know we
about
have
this issue.
The term out accidental, but we.
And if you're watching at the station, I know I got a text message. I have two devices in my ear.
And see if they have an update.
And let me know what you need, and I'll try to make it happen for you. Students are still coming out. It seems like they're calm, walking out. They're not running. Do not know who the shooter is at this point, how many shooters we're talking about. I know we have put the term out accidental, but we have to run all of that information again through Birmingham Police and see if they have an update for us. Robinson. Okay. Can you do me a favor? Appreciate that. Can you just hold this for a second?
All right, so the information that I got from Birmingham Fire is that two transported in critical condition. One is an employee, and the other person that was transported is one student. A third person is being evaluated. There is the PIO with Birmingham Police. He is on the phone right now. And he will hopefully get over here and give us updated information whenever he gets it.
All right, so the information that I got from Birmingham Fire is that two transported in critical condition. One is an employee, and the other person that was transported is one student. A third person is being evaluated. There is the PIO with Birmingham Police. He is on the phone right now, and he will hopefully get over here and give us some updated information whenever he gets it. Like I said, he is on the phone, so we have one student transported in critical condition, and we have an employee also in critical, according to Birmingham Fire, and a third person, according to the fire department, is being evaluated as we speak. Yeah. Watson. All right, let me put this here.
So it seems like I can't zoom in on my phone, so we just have to look at a wide view. Looks like teachers are now walking out. There are some students that I'm looking at through my other camera, and the students are up close to the door, the entrance to the school.
Most of the parents and students are leaving, so
that's probably all we're going to get right now.
So it seems like I can't zoom in on my phone, so we just have to look at a wide view.
Still trying to figure out
looks like teachers are now walking out. There are some students that I'm looking at through my other camera, and the students are up close to the door, the entrance to the school. Most of the parents and students are leaving, so that's probably all we're going to get right now. Still trying to figure out how two people were shot in an accidental shooting. So that information is, we still, like I said, have to run it through Birmingham police. But we have 2 shot, and police are saying it is accidental. Maybe some conflicting information, but we still have to get all of that confirmed. From Birmingham Fire, we were told that a total of 3 people involved. The first person transported in critical condition, it is a student, and we have an employee. Do not know if that employee is a school resource officer, a teacher, custodian, what. Birmingham police will have to let us know what that person is and that person's role here at Huffman High School. And for those who are watching that do not live here in Alabama, Huffman High School is to the east of Birmingham. Birmingham is in Jefferson County, central Alabama, and largest city in the state. So we have more. There doesn't seem to be a sense of urgency. So with the students, I guess everything is pretty much under control here at the school.
Everybody is safe. So again, we are still trying to get some official updates from BPD. They're inside trying to talk with school officials to kind of figure out what led up to this shooting. But as you can imagine, it's kind of a chaotic scene here as this took place within the last hour or so here at Huffman High School. So we're going to go ahead, Sherry.
Yeah, Michael, as this was getting out, certainly a lot of talk on social media about what could possibly have been going on inside the school. Birmingham police moved very quick to say this was an accidental shooting, and we're told they'll be holding a news conference there shortly at the school. Have you had an opportunity to talk to any of the parents or students who were around? I know you guys just got on that scene.
We just got out on the scene, Sherry, but I did have an opportunity to just watch a few embraces in that nearby parking lot from parents that were just in tears and concerned since they had heard the reports, like you mentioned, on Facebook and social media, all unconfirmed at the point that they had heard that information. And so everyone just kind of rushed here just to make sure that their loved ones and children were okay. So I didn't get a chance to talk to any parents just yet, but you can just see the emotion in some of these embraces from the parents and their kids as they obviously learn that their kids are okay. So we'll try to be talking to parents shortly, and we're actually looking for the Birmingham police spokesperson to speak to. But again, Al, if you can show them at the front of the school there, more hugs. I mean, that just kind of goes to show the emotion that's out here.
That's what we're seeing, Michael. We're actually seeing people go in and out of that ambulance. I don't know if they're just providing some comfort to people there on the scene. It is a shock. This is a time of day when people would have been arriving to pick up their children from school, and you arrive to find that it is on lockdown, and indeed there has been a shooting inside the school, albeit an accident.
Yeah, 4:30, this is continuous breaking coverage of Huffman High School, where 2 students have been shot. Police are saying at this point it was an accidental shooting, but one of those students has life-threatening injuries, and both have been transported from that scene. Michael Clark is on the scene. Al Ratcliffe is running that camera. Al, if you can pull back, because of what we've seen in our country, I'd love to see what kind of police presence we have that has responded, because we know Birmingham police and Jefferson County sheriffs are working that scene.
Yes. What are you seeing by way of police officers there? It looks like that ambulance is getting ready to pull out. But, Michael, you said there's heavy presence on the campus. But as you were driving in, were they posted up around the perimeter of the school as well?
Well, it looked like everybody was in a rush to get here to make sure that everything was okay. We did see a tremendous amount of officers heading towards Birmingham, obviously escorting that ambulance. But at the school, everybody is concentrated around the front and the center. We saw some Jefferson County Sheriff's officers arrive a few moments ago, obviously, to assist with Birmingham Police's investigation. But I can count at least 6 squad cars on every corner that I see, obviously all with their lights on, trying to make sure that traffic isn't as much of an issue as well, since this is obviously, like you said, the time that people would be coming to pick up their kids anyway, get home from work. Lots of police out here. Al, if we can we kind of show our viewers the other side of the street here? I kind of want to pan over here just to kind of give you an idea. Like I said, some of these intersections were blocked off and had police in front of them. In fact, we can hear the emergency sirens of a vehicle trying to get through just down the road. So as you can see, just all 4 corners of this intersection here really just have law enforcement presence. As you see this fire truck go by right now. Not sure if that's in relation to what's going on here, but just obviously a lot of congestion here on an already busy scene here this afternoon. But like I said, 360 degrees all the way around the school. Officers in all directions, flashing lights, Birmingham Police, Jefferson County Sheriff's officers medics, Birmingham Fire and Rescue. So just a tremendous scene. And Alice, you can kind of watch this. There's the ambulance that we saw in front of that school is pulling out right now. Alice, and just kind of steer over here to the left of you. This is the ambulance you guys were seeing a few minutes ago out in front of the school. It has now just left and is looking like it's leaving the school property as soon as the Birmingham police are able to clear enough room. Obviously, doesn't look like it's running code, so we would assume that there's not a patient in the back that's in a hurry.
Potentially good news, at least, that they are leaving the scene without a person in the back. Of course, if you're joining us right now, there has been an accidental shooting at Huffman High School. One student has life-threatening injuries right now. This happened sometime towards the end of the school day. We're being told students were on lockdown as some parents were arriving to pick up their children, and again, don't know what led to the shooting, but we are working to get that information.
And we just got new information into the CBS 42 newsroom, and I believe this is the word that is coming to us from the Birmingham Police Department, that the people that were shot, one adult and one student. So one student and one adult. First reported to us that it was two students involved, being told now that it was one adult and one student from the police department that is on the scene there. Again, two people shot, and one has life-threatening injuries. Still not, we don't know which one, whether it was the adult or the student with the life-threatening injuries.
And so Birmingham Police, the new PIO there, you see the gentleman on the phone, Pete Willison, is getting information, and he'll be up to talk to the media to give us more of what's happened. He was inside gathering information as to what happened. But the update on this story at this hour, as Jim just said, is that an adult was shot as well as a student. Two people were transported to the hospital. We are unclear at this hour who has life-threatening injuries. We did get that information from Birmingham Police earlier this afternoon when we first broke in to Dr. Phil to let you know that somebody had life-threatening injuries leaving the school in what again was an accidental shooting, according to Birmingham Police.
Michael Clark is on that scene for us, and we will get back to him momentarily, but Hillary Simon is also on the scene for us. She is getting reaction from students and parents, and we'll bring that to you either before the top of the hour or at the top of the hour with our 5 o'clock newscast here on CBS 42. If you're just tuning in, two students were first reported shot. Now one adult, one student shot, one with life-threatening injuries. There are media reports that are unconfirmed by us at this hour that the gun used in this shooting has been recovered. We are trying to confirm that information from the scene.
Let's talk to Michael, who is out there. Michael, as you said, in this day and age when there are reports of a school shooting and sometimes parents are learning about that on social media and trying to get to the school, are you sensing people are relieved at this hour as they leave the scene? We saw a lot of hugs earlier, but are you sensing some relief? Is the crowd starting to thin a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think you hit the nail on the head talking about social media, because all of the word spreads so fast, and unfortunately some of the information that's put out there is not always confirmed, not always accurate. So I think a lot of parents feared the worst when they got the messages through social media that there had been a shooting at the high school. So obviously, as we see parents come here to pick up their kids, hugs, embraces, smiles, just relief definitely on the eyes and faces of the people that we've seen out here. And I've been trying to kind of look for some of those interactions from parents and students, but we actually have just been seeing a lot of folks wanting to get out of here, wanting to leave, wanting to make sure that they're as far away from the school and this investigation as possible. Everybody seems to be getting into a car pretty quickly and getting out of here. So we're watching the traffic as it goes by. We've seen a lot of what looks like parents and students in those vehicles. So it looks like there's been a lot of people exiting the school over the past 20 minutes or so since we've been out here. But the folks that are not exiting the school or the law enforcement officers, more of them continue to come, obviously, as this investigation is just now picking up steam. We're still kind of looking for the public information officer with BPD who had been on the phone a few minutes ago getting some more information. So we're trying to spot him so that we can get an update to bring to you from BPD.
And that's important. I think you brought up a good point about sometimes that information on social media is misinformation because people don't really know what's going on. And so it's a good thing to be out there as a journalist gathering some facts because as this unfolds, people want to know how a gun ended up in the high school in the first place. And so there's that part of this story. Certainly there is that concern for parents who were there that a gun inside the school could have harmed anyone, and now we're being told this was an accidental shooting. Can't read too much into that, but Birmingham police made that determination pretty early. I wonder if that information might change.
Yeah, very quickly. One adult and one student are the people shot today. Accidental is what they're calling it. If you're not familiar with Huffman High School, it's a Birmingham City school. This comes on a day after the governor of the state of Alabama, Kay Ivey, announced her initiative for safer schools in Montgomery yesterday, and it's something that is on top of mind since the shooting out in down in Florida a couple of weeks ago now, down in Parkland.
We have Captain Harold Watson on the phone with us with Birmingham Fire, just responding to this call. Captain Watson, can you tell us what the initial call was for you guys when you went to the school?
The initial call came in as a gunshot wound or a gunshot at Huffman High School. We didn't know how many people were involved on initial dispatch, but we got there, come to find out that there were 2 students that had been shot and 1 adult that's being, at the present time, still being evaluated.
So, can you update us on the status of injuries then?
Only thing we know right now is that they were transported in critical condition.
Both?
Yes, both students. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so 2 students shot, okay, and 1 adult that's being evaluated. Evaluated for a gunshot wound?
No, not a gunshot wound.
Okay, so that's, I'm going to just make sure we're clear here. So the report that we are working with now from you is that 2 students were transported to the hospital in critical condition, and 1 adult was being evaluated.
That's correct.
Is there a protocol that you guys went into with a shots fired inside the school? Because, Captain, we know the world we live in now with all the mass shootings we've seen in schools this year. Did a protocol kick in on a response for you guys this afternoon?
Well, definitely. Anytime there's a situation or an incident such as a shooting, we have to stage a few blocks away from that location until the police arrives on the scene, and they have to notify us that the scene has been secured. Once it is reported that the scene is secure, we continue on to the scene so that we can take care of that patient or the victim.
So paramedics were working on them inside the school. Can you tell us where in location inside that building they were located?
No, that's not something that I'm aware of. I don't know right now.
Okay. Okay, so we're on the phone right now with Birmingham Fire Captain Harold Watson, who their crews responded there. Around what time did this happen? We were getting calls sometime after 3 o'clock that there was something going on at Huffman High School. What time did that call come out to Birmingham Fire?
That call came out approximately 45 minutes. 45 to an hour ago.
Okay. And so as this is unfolding, you guys still have people there? Have you been treating people who are just kind of in shock and dealing with, you know, racing hearts?
Yes, that's one of the people, the adult that we're being, that's being evaluated at the time. That person. She reported difficulty breathing or something of the sort, and it just had to do with the scene or the incident.
So I had ran in the classroom, and they was just like, hurry up, call 911, like, well, the paramedics, because she got shot. And it was like, it was multiple people that got shot, and they were just telling the students, like, hurry up, get in the classroom. Like, as soon as I heard the gunshots, I, like, ran.
Okay, first of all, how are you doing?
My heart racing right now. I'm racing. Heavy breathing.
So sorry.
We have some breaking news to
Did you see it? Were you there in immediate?
I was right there. It was like a crowd, so it was hard for me to see, but I was right there, like upstairs. I was right there.
How far away were you standing from where the shooting was?
Like, I was, I could say 30 feet right there. It was a big old crowd, and everybody just started running.
So you were standing here, the crowd was there, and the girl who got shot was on the same
Same hallway, yes.
Okay, what part of the school was this?
Like upstairs, it's on like French hallway. It's like upstairs.
Police department that
French hallway.
One of the 2 shots has passed away.
Do you know who was shot?
At the hospital.
It was a boy named Mike. He shot himself, and there was another girl. I don't know her name, but it was, I think, Nolan.
Okay, hold on. Can we do it? Hold on. They're gonna stand by real quick.
I do not know if which student
1 minute, okay.
And
What's
also
your name?
I've been mentioning third person.
Ashley Odin?
I told you all Birmingham Fire say
What
a
grade
third
you in?
person is being evaluated. We do not know if that person was shot, injured, trying to get.
Yeah,
out
I
of the
got you. We're
school
going to do a
or
live
what.
interview here in
We
just a
have
minute.
confirmed that a student,
Okay. Just 1 minute, okay, Ashley?
one of the two shot is
Don't say
dead,
anyone's
according
name,
to
okay? I don't want
Birmingham.
to identify any, because in case their parents don't know, okay? Here, start on me, and then we'll move over to Ashley in a minute. I'll make it quick, okay, Ashley?
2-8-23 in Erie.
So it's a very sad day, as Ms. Foster.
We'll make it quick, ma'am.
Hey, Lynn.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
Have you talked to your parents at all yet? And they know you're okay? Good. Talk to her and what happened? Would that be okay? Okay. Do you mind me asking your name?
Caleb Armour.
Caleb spelled like normal?
C-A-L-E-B.
Okay. And your last name?
A-R-M-E-R.
And what year are you?
12.
12th grade.
No good as me. No good as me. Tell me. I know somewhere. My cousin over here. They said she was in New York City.
Okay. Just give us 1 second. And this will be live, but I'll just ask you a couple questions and we'll go back and forth and then hey, yep.
They said one of them guys was in hospital. We were right there. We done heard the bell ring. We done heard the gunshot. This is the third shoe came up here and left. Three of my cousins over here. One of them they call him, the other one Michael.
We're fired.
What did you do? I ran. They pushed like all the students in a nearby classroom. Like they made everybody like immediately go in class. Like no one can't be out here. Everybody go in the classroom, lock the doors.
Hey, Irby,
This is coming at a time where there's been, just the Florida school shooting. So, what was the protocol? What happened? Did they lock you guys in the classroom? What happened exactly?
Yeah, they locked us in the classroom. Like they pushed like everybody get in here, get in here. You can't come out. Lock the door. Don't say nothing. Get by the walls, under the chairs. That's all that like pushed everybody in the classroom. Y'all gotta be quiet. Just like nervous situation.
What was going through your mind? Did you reach out to your parents at that time?
Yes, I had called my mom immediately. I was like, Mom, you need to hurry up and come get me. Like, they're shooting inside the school, and I want to be a part. I was just like, hurry up and come get me.
Do you know if there was anyone who went out to the students that were hurt? Were there any teachers, any other students who went to go help them?
Yeah, like all the teachers, they ran out. Like, they immediately, some teachers was nervous themselves, like shocked, and other teachers ran outside. They like, hurry up, call 911, and just get everybody safe. No, they locked us in the classroom. They wouldn't let nobody in, wouldn't let nobody out.
You're standing here, you're strong, you're a freshman in high school. The fact that you have to deal with this.
It's heartbreaking, and then it's like, it's not cause for like, I mean, I know it was an accident, but like people getting hurt for unnecessary reasons. Like
she didn't do nothing. Like, she was always a good student. For her to get hurt, it's just like terrifying to see it happen.
School was out already. Classes were out for the day, but you're here. Why were you here at the school?
I have a game today. I play softball, and I was we were leaving fucking like the 3:40 bell had run for us to get on the buses and go home, and I had exams, so I had to go to the gym. And like as soon as they started shooting, I ran into the nearest classroom.
How many shots were fired?
I want to say 4 to 5.
And did you hear or did you see what kind of gun? Was it a handgun? Was it a long rifle?
I really didn't see it. It was a crowd in front of me. It was hard to see.
All right, there are a lot of people.
We're just glad to hear that you're safe. I'm so sorry what you had to go through today. We'll check in with you a little bit later. Thank you, Ashley. So you just heard from Ashley, 2 students shot inside Huffman High School on the French hallway. 1 boy and 1 girl is what she's hearing right now. Those students brought to the hospital. Back to you guys in the studio.
You got this 2 or 3. Can you give me a call?
My teacher class, she was for let us out and go home. So all you hear is 2 gunshots. They locked us inside the classroom, and assistant principal said that 1 is down, and that's when they told us to stay inside the classroom.
2-8.
To be on the safe side. 2-7. Until they let us out and it's secure, where police and stuff. That's like literally what happened.
And you say
kind of furious and scared.
You only heard it. And as a parent, and what's your name, ma'am?
My name's Tracy Ellis.
Spell it for me.
Traceyellis.
And as a parent to have to go through this, I'm sure it's a nightmare for you, even just to get that phone call.
Oh yeah, I mean, I came up here like I'm going just as fast as the officers getting up here trying to get my child. I mean, it's sad and pitiful because my baby was distraught on the phone. I didn't know who was hurt, what was going on. I mean, it took a big toll on her because, you know, this is a new school for her. She used to go to a whole nother school. And you're thinking, okay, this might be a little better, but for this to go on, and my child just being that she was crying, distraught, I was trying to get here. Like, I'm racing with the cops trying to get here to see about my child. It's awful for this to happen, you know. You would think not in my, you know, not us, not, you know, but for it to happen like this, my daughter's really distraught. She just got done crying, stopped crying and started again. It's just sad. It's sad.
You know, it is sad. You know, people shouldn't have to live like this.
We shouldn't have to go through this. I mean, whatever it is, people put the guns down. That's the whole bottom line. Put these guns down. We got to solve stuff a better way. You know, we already, you know, in a community where, you know, they look at us some type of way, but we got to prove that we got to do something beyond picking up these guns to solve stuff. I really hope it gets better, and I hope everybody's okay, but it's going to have a little lasting toll on her. So I got to nurture her and get her back to speed on, you know, just getting her mental back straight. Yeah. It's really scary. Yeah, it's scary. It's sad. It's an everyday thing in the city. And, oh, yeah. And, you know, it's frightening people. It is. And, you know, people don't want to live like this. And hopefully one day it will get better. I hope so. I hope so. We got to be measures put in place, proactive measures. You know, we complain about, oh, we don't want the metal detectors. We don't want the clear backpacks. Yes, we need that. We see now we need that. We just had a school shooting in Florida. And then now, you know, every time you turn around, there's something going on. We got to do better. We got to teach, you know, our children how to handle stuff better. So we got to stand up. And you brought up another point about security in the school. Oh, yeah. Do they have, you all have resource officers, correct? You know how many you all have? This is a very large school. Yeah.
Like, we only have a few police. Like, we just have a few. But I think we need more, like, to actually get a better clear of the school because it shouldn't have to, even go down like that. Like, before it starts, people shooting inside the school or even near the school. Like, that's dangerous. We pulling up, you know, you see, you know, the sheriffs out there with AR, you know, guns, and I mean, these rifles. And I got small kids, they seeing the police pulling out guns. They don't understand what's going on. They don't know that they're out here to protect what's going on inside the school, you know, and all that. It's just too much. At the end of the day, they need to put metal detectors in these schools. They need to do way more than what they doing to protect these kids, because I think a couple of people did get hurt, but whatever happened, it could have been more. It could have been more. I'm glad the first responders got here, and you know, a lot of people talk a lot about the police, but you know, they here to help. Some of them, you know, a little worse than others, but you know, for the most part, they're here to try to protect. You know, and I know their job is hard, so shout out to them too. You know,
It ain't easy, and I'm praying for everybody and the people, all the people involved. So, yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you, ma'am. You all can go
you.
on and drive safely because I know
will.
you're very emotional right now. Okay. All right, thank you.
You say 65?
It's abandoned in the roadway. I guess it's 74.
No, it's going. You said no one with it. It's gonna be a 24.
I was like, do you know what's going on at the school?
Oh, it is a 24.
That's 10-4. Birmingham, stolen.
10-4. I don't have a computer. Can you give me a case number? And could you notify them that the vehicle does not have keys, but it's open and it's got the flashes on and parked at this location inside the road?
I was pretty much questioning her about why she didn't get on the bus and why she wasn't answering her phone. And I asked her what happened, and she said the guy pretty much just walked in the hallway and started shooting. Like, he was angry. I'm not, sure what transpired, but they said he pretty much just walked in the hallway and just opened fire in the hallway. Some students said 2 shots were fired. Some students said multiple shots were fired. But
Ashley just said there was 4.
Yeah, a lot of students said it was more than 1 shot fired.
My gosh.
It's very
terrifying.
It's very, because my thing is,
if
something needs to be done. And I was actually talking to another parent, and I was telling her, like, at this point, the school has actually saw what has happened. At this point, it's going to be on the parents to pretty much take initiative to, go before the school board, the superintendent, or somebody to try to get some security measures in place, because I was actually just talking to her sister, and she told me that they have metal detectors in the school, but they only use the school. Yeah, she said they only use the metal detectors for football games. So I'm like, if you actually have the tools that you need to make sure that the school is protected, why aren't you using them? Just for a game. Like, that's
okay.
I feel
They're
like
gonna come to us in 2 minutes.
Coming into the school.
What's that?
We're the top of 5.
Okay.
We're doing a live interview.
Would you want to talk to us?
That's fine.
Do you guys want a live interview or just a quick shot?
We're all live.
Okay. Have you talked to her? Just in case, we don't want their parents to find out or family to find out from us before.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I'll remind you of that. Okay, I'm just gonna put this here.
Okay, that's fine.
You want to do it on this side and turn her this way?
Yeah.
That's what happened last time with the sun.
Yeah.
You'll stand right here, ma'am.
So we're not on yet. So where's your cousin at?
We actually found her when we found that she was coming out of school. What happened was she wasn't answering her phone because there was so much commotion in the school that they had locked the school down and made all the children stay in place. And I'm assuming that once they actually apprehended the shooter, when we noticed that they had actually brought him out of the school. Once they brought him out of the school and put him in the paramedics, then they actually let all the other students come out. And when all the other students came out, it was like a rush to get out the door. Like, students were running every which way.
Okay. We're gonna come on in just a few seconds. I'm gonna let Brittany Rutledge. Yeah.
She okay?
Give me my
Yes, Lisa, just as you were saying, classes were out for the day, but now there are some students who are here, some here for sports, others for other after-school programs, who have been coming out of the school, who were inside at the time of the shooting. And we're here with LaBrittany Rutledge. Her cousin goes here to Huffman High School. How is your cousin doing?
She's doing fine. She's a little shaken up, but she's doing fine for the most part.
Where was she at the time of the shooting?
She said that she was actually in one of her classrooms when the shooting happened. Most of the teachers scrambled to get the school locked down, so none of the students were moved. So she was actually in a classroom with another teacher.
And you actually were just nearby. You were in the area at the time of the shooting. Tell me about that.
Right. I was actually coming into the parking lot. I saw a mother scram from across the street at the local jet pep. I actually pulled over to stop her and asked her what was going on because I saw a lot of commotion coming towards the school. When I pulled over and I asked her what happened, she said that she had overheard that there was a shooting at the school. So I immediately came up here to look for my cousin. Like I said, she's a student here. And when I got out, I just saw a lot of commotion. A lot of people were crying, you know, people screaming and stuff. It was very, very horrific scene.
As LaBrittany was saying, there are a lot of people still out here in the parking lot, students and parents. For the parents here, security has been one of the major issues. We were just talking about that. Are there metal detectors inside the school?
Yes, students have actually said, I've talked to multiple students. As I said, my cousin goes here and my best friend's sister actually goes here too. They both have told me that the school actually has metal detectors in the school that they only implement during football games, which I see no purpose of. I mean, if you can use the metal detectors during the football game, then you should be able to use them during when the school opens, you know, when the school closes to secure, you know, to make sure the students in the school are safe, not only during football games, but, you know, while they're here to learn.
And as we were just talking about, this comes just a few days after a gun was discovered at Huffman Middle School as well. So this is something that parents are just fed up with.
Pretty much, and I think at this point, you know, the parents are going to have to come together and, you know, get with the Board of Education, you know, the principals, the teachers here, and see what can be implemented to make the situation better, because as long as there's no kind of security in the school, it's going to be an ongoing, you know, issue here and as well as other local schools and, you know, schools around the country. And in my personal opinion, not to offend anyone, but I think it's, you know, something that starts at home
earlier,
as well, because
we have,
a lot of the parents aren't aware that their kids are, you know, toting these weapons, and I feel like,
we do not know their exact condition right now, but like I was saying earlier, we have a lot of parents curious as to what's going on. Traffic, and Clay, can you pan over here and just show what's going on? We've got traffic backed up right here in this parking lot. Media is staging, speaking with parents. This is where all of the parents are picking up their children. So a lot of stuff happening right now, and I've just been informed that Mayor Woodfin walked into the high school, so he's being briefed. We're working to get you guys updates as soon as possible and hopefully bring those to you as we get them. Hey Chris, can you hear me? Will you come talk to me? Well, Brenda, I'm here with the cousin of a student, correct? And tell me your name one more time,
please.
My
name is LaBrittany Rutledge.
LaBrittany Rutledge. Talk to me about the situation. You heard the shooting happened. Your cousin is safe, is that correct?
Yeah, she's safe at the time. She's very much so shaken up, but she's safe.
Okay.
We did make sure she's safe.
And now, did she describe the situation here? Can you tell us anything about what she said when she came out of the school?
Yeah, from what she described was that there were about 4 gunshots. And that 2 students were injured. She said upon hearing the shots, the teachers pretty much, they were actually said the bell had just rung and they were letting students out the class. When they heard the shots, the teachers that were in the hallway immediately tried to rush all the children back in the classrooms to make sure everyone was safe. She said pretty much they locked the school down until they figured out where the shooting actually came from and what happened, and then once everything was cleared up and they figured out what happened, you know, they let the students go.
Okay. Right now, she does not know who was involved in this shooting.
Yeah,
correct?
she did. She did give me the names of the people that were involved.
Okay.
It was
and
one male,
obviously
one
we'll
female.
wait. Yes, and we'll wait to release that just in case police have something else to say.
Correct.
But tell me this. We spoke a little earlier, and as a family member of a student who was in a situation like this, how scary is that?
It's very much so scary. It's very scary. It's very terrifying. When we initially got here, we were calling her cell phone. My sister actually has, her baby sister goes here as well. So we were calling their cell phones to try to figure out, you know, where they were at the time of the shooting and to make sure they were okay. We weren't getting any kind of answer from neither one of them. And I actually just walked up here and just prayed that she would walk out to school, and I actually saw her come across the lawn. So it was very, very so much concerning, because we, at this point, we were, you know, clueless as to what was going on, besides, you know, the students coming out of school saying it was a shooting.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to let you go. I know you probably want to be with your family. But, guys, you heard there a lot of prayers right now for those 2 students involved in this shooting, but a lot of family members here concerned about safety issues here at Huffman High School. Hey, I've got real bad mixed minus. I can't even get through a sentence. Is there any way we can work that out? Okay, thank you. She's putting up her. Hey, Clay, let's get a bump shot of the school right here. Let's get a little closer. Right here.
They said they need a gunshot?
No, they're not in a bump shot yet. Okay.
Hey, is your mic off?
All right, sorry, dude.
Is your mic off?
Right.
Is your mic off?
Yeah. All right, bye. You're good.
Are you going live again?
Probably, yeah.
For interviewing the same person I just interviewed.
What we need is to come back up.
So even if we have to, you know, look at home for her or something like that, you know, something got to integrate.
Jump on it. Just jump on it. Can we grab you real quickly?
Hey, hold on again. You know what happened?
And my brother said, I told him 2 weeks ago, he told me, you know, Paul and brothers, I think here and there for Christmas. I said, Phil, you were all right. Right here.
I don't know, I'm doing bench shots. I don't know.
All right, send it off.
Am I clear for a long shot?
You guys are clear.
How well do you know?
I know if there's a minute we checked it out. And she said things and I said that.
When was the last time you saw it?
I chopped that and chopped it.
How long before the